DOA, Dorward Outdoor Adventures.
All right, so we're halfway through day one. As you can tell from the soggy fire pit, rained all of last night and all of today, which we knew it was going to. So we stayed around camp today. The rain has stopped. It is wet outside. We're going to go out there for an evening hunt, see what happens, and see what we can hear out here. Night one, day one, elk camp 2020.
This bull came to within about 35 yards to Leon's left, but only stuck out his face and the fronts of his antlers. Another couple bulls responded and came close, but nothing came in on this first night. So this is the same spot that I shot my bull at last year. Same little gully. Still lots of sign here. Everything looks good. Morning of day two. So the setup for today is over top of a little gully, a little ravine here. Bugle tube, bow, backpack, stick to thrash the trees with. Let's see how this plays out for us. Although there were signs of bedding and wallows, there were no elk in the area on the morning of day two.
Evening hunt of day two. What are we doing tonight, Leo?
Gonna get us some elk.
Hopefully one, maybe two. Middle of the day, day three. It's been a slow couple days. Day one started off with an evening of calling 3 bulls in, and ever since then it's been deadly quiet. We've had nights where there's been no wind, no sound. There's been no bugling in the distance, no nothing. So we're hiking in the flatlands a little bit today. It's the last day with the bow. General season opens up tomorrow. Hoping to get it done with the bow today. Just be nice to get onto some elk and at least see a few more. Stay tuned. DOA. I think we have better luck finding sandhill cranes than we do elk this week. Midday, day 4, September 17th. Rifle season now open. Had a couple bugling this morning, but still didn't want to commit, didn't want to come in. We're trying not to give up hope, right, Leon?
That's right, don't count us out yet. We're still going.
But some days it's hard. Some days it's very hard. Hopefully we can use this footage and show you that we didn't give up and we ended up getting our bull. But right now it's about 20 degrees. Midday. Can't get him to commit. Stay tuned. You're hanging out with DOA, Dorward Outdoor Adventures.
chasing a pretty big herd from what we can tell, since right out of the truck this morning, right from 6:30 a.m. we heard a couple bugles decided to go in after it. It skirted around us, a couple bulls. We got onto them, we kept following them, kept pushing through the bush. Lots of cows, some estrus whining, a couple satellite bulls with them, and definitely one herd bull trying to work the wind in our favor and get onto them. We're trying. We're getting close. Probably got within, there he goes again, 100 yards a few times. I just can't piss him off enough for him to want to come out. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching DOA. Well, that concludes 5.5 hours chasing a herd with about 4 bulls, a bunch of cows. Never could quite get a visual on them. They always kept about 150 yards away. The closest we got into was about 50 yards. The bulls are smarter than us today. Some hard miles put on through the bush. We'll keep going. So a little bit about how that hunt on day 5 unfolded for us. It happened really quick. We were getting bulls in every day except for one day this week. They would come in, we would chase them, we couldn't quite get on them. They would bust us, they would get away from us, we couldn't make it happen. But it was last night, and it was a quiet night. There was no wind, there was nothing moving, not a sound, nothing was answering our calls. About an hour and a half before sunset, we were texting back and forth with each other saying, should we try go to another spot, bugle, see if something comes in? I don't think nothing's going to happen here. But lo and behold, about half an hour before legal light ended, did a breeding sequence, and it brought in a bull right away. It came in hard, it came in heavy. It came in about 10 yards right behind Leon here, and he was trapped. He couldn't move. Otherwise, the bull would have busted him, and he would have been gone. So he sat there very still. I didn't know where the bull was.
Actually, I was laying back because I thought I was going to take an overshot head shot there, and I'm sitting with my neck off the ground because there's an anthill behind me. I didn't want to put my head in it. So I'm like, come on, Jeff, do something, do something. I'm cramping in my neck. And
it was probably the longest 10 minutes of both of our lives, because as the bull came in, I knew he was close, but then I didn't hear him, and he just went completely silent. So I'm texting Leo, and I'm saying, hey, do you see him? And I get no response. I'm like, do you know where he is? And so finally I decided that he couldn't get to his phone because he would have to move, or he could see the bull. I didn't know whether to bugle, whether to chirp, to do what to get this bull past him. So finally, after about 10 minutes of no response, I said, I have to do something. I have to bring this bull past him so he can at least get a shot. So I started up the sequence again by myself, and I'm popping a couple reeds in my mouth, and I have my tube going, and I'm blowing. And then Leo starts chirping, and he texts me back and said the bull was right behind him. But he kind of skirted around us and went about maybe 100 yards away. And he let out another big bugle, and by this time there was about 15-20 minutes left of legal light. So unfortunately, earlier in the day, Leo kind of popped his bad foot with the arch, and he's had some ankle trouble, so he wasn't able to come with me. But I thought, you know what, it's late in the week, we wanted to get a bull down. So I grabbed my bugle tube, I grabbed my gun, and as I ran past him, I said, I'm going after him. So I found him in the next valley over, about 100-150 yards over. And I couldn't quite see him, but I could hear him. I was bugling as loud as I could in his face, and he was bugling right back at me. I found him in a little bowl, couldn't quite see him.
at the same time, I was trying to distract the bull from Jeff approaching. I'm chirping away. It's like maybe it's going to draw some attention off of Jeff onto me. And
for sure, and you can definitely see that in the video where Leo was recording.
Nervous chirps.
And he was chirping away, which helped. And regardless, I finally grabbed a tree that was beside me, and I started shaking the heck out of it. And of course, the bull across the valley started shaking it out of the trees as well. So he came out of the trees,
counted him quickly, and by counted him I mean he had more than 3 points on each side, so I'm like, okay, he's legal, I'm taking a shot at this bull. But he didn't come out of the trees long enough to give me a shot. So when he did come out, he didn't come out where I thought he was gonna. He came out about another 80 yards over to my left. And as soon as he stepped out and there was a little bit of brush in front of him, I decided to give him a shot. So I knew I hit him a little bit high, wasn't quite where I wanted to get him, but I did get a shot off. I followed him down onto the main trail that he was on, and I could hear him walking, I could hear him breathing. And as soon as I got a little bit around the corner, again, by this time it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes before legal light. It's in the thick of the bush, so, I mean, we're not in an open field. It's shadowy, it's dark. And of course I got right behind him and he was laying down on the trail. So he got up, took a few steps, and then moved into the bush again. So I followed him again, and once he was in the bush by a couple yards, again, he sat down, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to push this bull any further, but I wanted to make sure I did finish him off. So I was able to get one more shot into him. He ran off into the bush another 20, 30 yards, and I heard him coughing. I knew it was a lung shot. I didn't want to push him to go any more deeper into the bush, any deeper into the valleys, so we backed out of there, and we went in the next morning. I had kind of marked where he went into the bush. I was pretty confident I was going to find him, but I tell you, last night was a sleepless night, and I didn't know if bears or wolves would get to him, or if he got up and got away, and I wounded him.
Let's go find him. And we followed the dirt where it was kicked up. And there's not a lot of blood, but there's a down elk in here. It happened so fast last night that I don't know how many points he had on him. But man, yeah. 2020 elk camp success. We got this one last night. We had to back out on him. It was 10-15 minutes left of legal light, and a lung shot, so he wasn't quite down, and I didn't want to push him. So he's a little stiff this morning, but we got it done. The archery nut with me, lots of help, man. Couldn't have done it without you. Our calling is bang on. We worked our asses off for this thing, and it's just as much yours as it is mine. Thanks for following me along on this journey. I keep dragging you out here year after year, but it's one of the trips that I look most forward to each and every year. So thanks, buddy. We did it together again.